Let's take a look at the reusable glow card. So what the glow card is, this is a rechargeable glow stick essentially. This is something I have started carrying. This is about the size of a credit card. So I keep this in my wallet, and this is a pretty handy thing to have really in any setting. I've used this camping, I've used this in an urban setting. So when you take the glow card out of your wallet or out of your pack or out of somewhere dark, you're not going to get much out of this. This needs to be charged up first. So if you put this in the sun for 30 minutes, that's going to glow for 8 to 10 hours. And that is pretty impressive. When you do that, when you just give it a 30-minute charge in the sun, it is a faint glow. So this is similar to those snap type glow sticks. But what this does do for you is this lets you mark a trail, or you could put this by your camp or by your hammock, and if you wandered off into the woods to go to the bathroom, this is going to work really well directionally. As long as you stay in line with it, it's going to work great to help you navigate back. With a soft light like this, it is plenty to check a map and you don't lose your night vision. You could have this inside an enclosed hunting blind. A lot of times before the sun comes up, you don't want to turn on your bright flashlight and blow up the whole blind. Just the soft glow to make sure you've got your firearm loaded or your arrow nocked. That's what this thing is really handy for. It really doesn't affect your night vision, but you can do a lot with this faint light. So my favorite way to use this is you can supercharge this. So if you held a flashlight right in front of it, when you take that flashlight away, you're going to get a minute or two of intensely bright light. And with that light, it's different than a white flashlight. It still has a greenish glow to it, but you can navigate. You can get through a room. You can ID somebody with this. It's pretty darn impressive. You would have no problem not just seeing a map, but reading details on the map. That is how I like to use it. And in an urban situation, the middle of the day, this is why I started carrying this. Middle of the day, the sun's up and you go into a darkened building and you need a flashlight, or you're going to need some way to navigate out of that. And with a light like this or with a glow card like this, if I don't have my flashlight with me, or if my battery dies, or I don't choose to go with a super bright white light, I can charge this up. So I can literally hold this up to the sun for just a few minutes. I can also, if it is evening already, I can hold this by a security light and just get the light charged up that way. And that is going to give me plenty of time to assess the building, to at least see if that's somewhere that I want to be. If I'm passing through a building, it's going to help me out like that. This is definitely a handy feature and gives you very varied output to your flashlight. So instead of just having a shooting style flashlight that is going to blind you, you can turn this on in your pack or under your jacket, hit the button, charge your glow card up, and you really don't affect your night vision, and you definitely don't give off a strong light signature. So I'm going to let this sit in the sun a little bit, and then I'm going to cut back and show you this card in the dark. So the glow card has been sitting out in the sun all day. I've been doing other things, so this has definitely had longer than its 30 minutes for 8-hour charge. But this is realistic. It wasn't terribly sunny today, and it wasn't in direct sunlight. So if you just had this sitting around camp by your hammock or on a tree stump, this is probably realistic of the expectations you're going to get with this. And this stuff doesn't show up that well on camera. I'm going to let the sun set a little bit more. I will show you how it looks with just the ambient light from the sun. And then we'll turbocharge it a little bit with a flashlight, and I'll show you how much better it works like that. As I was editing the demonstration portion of the glow card video, I just was not quite happy with how that was looking. I thought I could do it as the sun was setting and catch that transition area, and then went out again in complete darkness, but it wasn't quite there. It wasn't working for me, so I moved inside to show you best how it works. So this has been charging for about 30 minutes, and it's kind of an overcast day today, so this is going to give you probably the worst case scenario of the amount of glow you actually get off the card. So this is the glow after about 30 minutes of overcast, and this is enough for a signal. This is enough to show you a location of camp. If this was spinning around in a tree or dangling in the wind, it would definitely be an indicator of the direction you need to go, but there's not really a lot of ID with this. So this is enough glow to help you find something in the dark. So if you attach this to the outside of your pack, or you had this on your haversack, Or you attach this to the base of a tree stand or something. That's going to allow you to see it when it's just too dark to locate anything. But that's really not going to give off a whole lot of light. I'm going to supercharge this right now with a high-powered flashlight. So if you've got a flashlight already, why do you need a glow card? Well, the glow card gives you varying degrees of light. This light is pretty darn powerful. This is like a self-defense style flashlight right here. And if you were just turning this on inside the interior of a tent or inside a car to to check a map or to read something, that you're going to lose your night vision pretty darn hard. You're going to get blinded pretty quickly. And you see, if this light is still on, but I am only charging the glow card right now. So you could do this under your blanket or in a sleeping bag or under a poncho without losing your night vision. Now I'm going to turn the light off, and here's the glow card. So this is pretty bright. This is significantly brighter. You can see my face, you can see the details. So you can read with this. This is going to work great for a signal, short-term signal. And again, you could charge this up if you were walking away from camp for some reason. This is going to be a lot brighter like this. You're going to be a lot more likely to notice this when it's dangling in the woods. Another great way to use the glow card is a signaling device. I've got a piece of artificial sinew here on a basket hitch, and I'm going to charge this thing up and give it a spin, and I'm going to show you how well that shows up in the dark. So if this was attached to a longer piece of cordage, I would just have a bigger radius, but this is completely unnatural. And when you see something like that glowing this green color, spinning around in a big circle, that is definitely going to attract attention. A glow card is a pretty handy thing to add to your kit. I carry a flashlight, I carry a headlamp in the woods, I carry a small EDC light when I'm in an urban situation or every day. But those things run out of batteries, and when they do, with this thing, you can harness the energy of the sun. I can supercharge it before I go into a darkened building just with a security light. So there's a lot of options with this. This can keep you located at camp if you set this thing up in your direction of travel, or set it up on a string where it's going to be spinning a little bit. It's going to help you make sure you can always see your camp. Unless you live somewhere where the sun doesn't set, it gets dark pretty darn quick, and when it does, it's best to have a way to see in the dark.